Okay, there's the rule about the catcher blocking the plate.
Oh, right.
And we'll call this the Posey rule,
Okay.
right? Because Buster Posey got hurt very badly, broke his leg, and was out.
For a whole season.
For a whole season, that's right. So a catcher cannot block the plate unless he has the ball in his hand.
Okay.
And mostly it's a runner is not allowed to, put his shoulder down or try to deviate out of the path to the base to try and make contact with the catcher. So it'll be a little more like second base. You can't run into the catcher and you'd have to tag him, and we'll see what happens.
So has it taken away from some of the excitement of those plays?
That's opinion, but it is a little bit different. They don't have a lot of bang bang exciting, oh, did he score plays.
Right, but nobody's breaking their leg like Posey.
That's a very good thing.
Yes, it is.
That's why the rule came around to begin with, right?
Absolutely.
Some people call it the Posey rule.
It is called the Posey rule. Well, the other big change is instant replay. I mean, I don't know if they're calling it instant replay, but, they've been looking at home runs for a while.
Right.
Now they're going to look at everything. From the stadium, they're going to contact video officials in New York, and they're going to clarify a call.
Okay.
Now, if the manager wins the call, he gets a second one. If he loses, he doesn't get any more calls. And strikes and balls are not going to be chosen.
I was
It'll be,
just gonna ask
that
that.
kind of. Those are too easy. It's going to be,
Plays at the plate or
at a base
at a
and
base.
things like that, and
Right.
still home runs.
Okay. Well,
And so,
how long do you think that's going to take for each game?
well, Torrey says it should only add a minute or two.
Do you think there's an accountant with Major League Baseball that's figuring out every minute that they can sell advertising while they are reviewing plays?
Let's hope not.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Hopefully, the replay will be something we like. So,
And you know what? I forgot to mention, the umpires can start using the rule on their own after the seventh inning. So that may even add more time. The umpires don't want to look bad, so maybe they won't call at all. We'll see. It's evolving. We'll talk about it all year
is.
long.
Everybody clap your hands.
is it okay with you if we start with instant replay?
I think we should.
I think that's a good idea too. Let's figure out, is it worth it? Is it something that's working?
Well, let's look at numbers first, and we'll find out.
Okay, well, we did a little research. We went on to baseballsavant.com. They've got some real hard, fast numbers. And they were able to calculate a whole bunch of percentages all the way up to last week. So, as of June 20th, 562 challenges were made to calls on the field.
Wow. Okay.
Of those,
That's a lot.
267 were overturned. That
Sounds
means
about half.
Yeah, that's almost 50%. 295 were not overturned.
Oh, okay.
So that's over 50%. And that's a combination of, that means the umpire got the call right on the field, or when they looked at instant replay, the tape was inconclusive and they couldn't overturn the call.
Right. All right.
So what do you think, where do you think most of the challenges are being made?
Well, my own experience is it's always at the first base.
You'd be right.
Batter running to first base.
Over 41% of the challenges
41, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty high. And then the second most is second base.
Really?
Yeah, even with the neighborhood call.
Huh.
And that's about 22%.
So it's half of what happens at first base.
And then the rest of the calls are boundaries, home runs, foul balls, those kind of things. I think part of the complaint of the replay is that there's this two-part system. The managers are supposed to call to challenge the play, but they wait until someone inside the dugout watches the tape before they decide to say, I'm going to challenge this call. And there are some complaints that that's kind of weird, just if you're going to challenge the call, challenge the call. Don't wait for someone in your dugout.
But what would be the complaint? Is it that it's making the game too long?
Yes.
Or is it that it's kind of cheating to find out if you should contest it or not?
Well, I think it's two-tier, but I think a lot of it is that takes a long time for your guy to review it before he tells you to make the challenge to the call. Oddly enough, 112% of the challenges are at home plate.
It's only 12% of the challenges.
I said 12%.
No, you said 112%.
I wouldn't have said 112%.
Hello? I want to contest it. I want a replay.
Oddly enough, 112% of the challenges are at home plate. Okay, I did say 112%.
Well, replay does work.
It works.
It did this time anyway.
There's more new rules.
More new rules
For Major
since
League Baseball.
last year. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Last year there were 2 new rules. One was what's called the posy rule.
Yes,
about
blocking the plate.
Mm-hmm. We're kind of working those kinks out. And the other was having managers review plays.
Yes, those were long and dragged out.
They were. Well, the new rules this year all have to do with pace of play of the game. And it's not so much that baseball games are too slow. Like, I love long baseball games as long as the teams are on the field playing, but it's designed to kind of cut down on the dead space between when one team leaves the field and another team comes back onto the field.
Okay.
So, you've been to Dodger Stadium, there's a timer on the pitcher.
Right.
Right? So, picture it.
Well, there's
you know.
not a timer on the pitcher. There's
Right.
a timer out in the field,
Uh-huh.
in center field.
And, yes,
And it starts running once the third out is made.
that's right. And it starts at 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
Okay.
So, after the third out,
The clock starts.
the clock starts, and so the one team has to go off the field, and the next team comes on the field, and the pitcher has to be ready to make his pitch to the first batter by the time the timer gets to 2:25.
And in turn, the batter has to be in the box ready to...
That's exactly right. So I don't know how I know they've implemented it, and I don't know that they're enforcing it this year, but I know the timers are there.
And what's the enforcement? In the minor leagues, I think, weren't they getting an out or a strike or something?
Yes, the rules were that if they took too long, the umpire would call an automatic strike on the batter, which is kind of punishing the batter, which is the other rule because they're trying to speed up the game in the batter's box, and it's called the batter's box rule.
Oh, okay.
And
So no more.
yes,
stuff,
all
right?
those lengthy preparations to step in the box, which slowed down the game. And it's not, like I said, about the play, it's about between innings and making it tighter.
Right. And so I myself, when I was at the game, because I can't watch them on TV, when I was at the game, I did not notice if they were stepping in and out of the box, and I didn't know when they were allowed to or not allowed to. You know, it's still very confusing for the viewer.
Right.
I don't know if they know for sure what's going on, but it is a little bit iffy. And I do know I read somewhere where there's a $500 fine for stepping out of the box at inappropriate times.
We'll see, and I don't know if they're implementing him, if they're fining them the $500 or not, but them's the new rules.
Everybody clap your hands.